Hey, welcome back. It's Jason Walter here. As the housing market continues to cool off, more and more home sellers are reducing their asking prices. So check this out, because in Boise, Idaho, as of June of this year, approximately 61.5% of home sellers have reduced their asking prices, which is absolutely insane. And by the way, that share has been increasing over the past couple of weeks, and I'm going to be sharing that with you guys here in just a little bit. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive right into the video here. This is a report from Redfin that was posted today at the time of this video, which is the 14th. Hope you guys appreciate these timely housing market updates. Personally, I'm having a lot of fun making these videos for you guys because there's been so much changes over the past couple of months, which has been refreshing, because I was so sick about talking about record high home prices, record low inventory for basically 2 years. So at least we have a lot to talk about and a lot of changes in our housing market right now. So if you do appreciate these videos, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and dive into the video here. So nearly 2/3, or 61.5% of houses for sale in Boise, Idaho had price reductions in June, the highest share of the 97 metros that they tracked in this analysis here by Redfin. Also coming in just after Boise, Idaho was Denver, Colorado at 55.1% and Salt Lake City, Utah at 51.6%. Also, number 6 was actually in Sacramento, where I, of course, live and work as a real estate agent. Our share of price reductions right now is 48.7%. Again, this is as of June, though, and I'm going to be sharing the most recent stats we have for you guys all the way up until the first 2 weeks of July, which shows that these price reductions has actually been increasing over the past couple of weeks. And it says here that Boise, Idaho, Salt Lake City, Utah, Sacramento, and Tampa, Florida were popular during the pandemic with home buyers moving in. In Sacramento, for example, we helped a lot of people move from out of the area into Sacramento because it's much more affordable to live in Sacramento versus the Bay Area or Los Angeles, for example. So in Boise, for instance, the typical home sold for $550,000 in May. That's up 60% from 2 years ago, and home prices increased 44% in Sacramento. Our median sold price in Sacramento is $610,000. And stay with me, because I'm going to be sharing the top 3 cities that have the highest share of price reductions, and also in Sacramento as well, and sharing the latest housing market update with you guys, or the latest housing market trends in those cities. And by the way, I have not looked at the latest data, so I'm going to be looking at it real time with you guys. So it's going to be really fun to take a look at this information for you guys. All right, so here's our list regarding the share of houses with price reductions as of June 2022. And this is in 97 of the most populous U.S. metro areas. And this is sorted by the share of listings with price reductions as of June 2022. So coming in at first place is Boise, share at 61.5%. Look at that. 1 year ago, the share was only 25.7%. So the share has more than doubled in one single year, which is absolutely insane. Again, the current figure right now is actually higher than 61.5%, and I'll share that with you guys here in just a little bit. Denver, Colorado at 55.1%. Only 31.7% 1 year ago. In Salt Lake City, Utah, also above 50%. And look at that. It has also more than doubled compared to 1 year ago as well. So that was followed by Tacoma, Washington, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Sacramento at 48.7%. And also look at that. The share has almost doubled in Sacramento as well. 1 year ago, the share was 26.5%. So after Sacramento was Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, Tampa Bay, Florida, and all these other cities. But take a look at this. So this is the share price drops as of June 2022. Look at all these cities here where the share is over 40%. Absolutely insane. And look at all these cities above 30%, which is absolutely insane. Oakland, California, 38.5%. San Jose, California, 38.2%. Houston, Texas, a very hot destination city that a lot of people move to, especially from California, still at 38%. Sorry, Graham Stephan, 37.7% is a share of price drops in Las Vegas, Nevada. A whole bunch of cities above 30%, which is absolutely insane here. And take a look at this. San Francisco at 25%. That may seem like a small number, especially compared to Boise and Denver, for example, but it's very common in San Francisco for houses to get listed for well below what they feel their house is going to sell for. So for a house that's worth basically $2 million in San Francisco, it would not be uncommon for the house to be listed for $1.7 to $1.5 million, knowing that the house is going to sell for $2 million or more. So very interesting to see that basically 1 of every 4 houses listed in San Francisco have had price reductions, which is pretty astonishing because 1 year ago it was only 16.6%. In any case, like I mentioned before, these percentages here are only as of June 2022. So a lot of these shares have been increasing, and I'm going to be sharing the latest trends with you guys because Redfin Data Center actually just updated the last 2 weeks. So they have updates as of July 10th. So we basically have about a week and a half more data on their other website, their housing market data website. So in today's video, I want to share the latest trends regarding Boise, Idaho, Denver, Colorado, and Salt Lake City, Utah, as well as Sacramento at the end of this video. And again, I have not looked at the latest trends, so I'm going to be sharing this with you guys in real time here. But I did pull up the actual website to look at those. So if you go onto Redfin housing market data website, it's called their data center. If you just go Google that, it'll take you to this website. Usually you can just see all Redfin metros. It shows you this. But if you want to look for a major metro in the US, then just go here to the search bar and search whatever. Boise, Idaho is one of the ones we're going to be talking about today. So Boise, Idaho. So here's the percent of active listings with price reductions in Boise. So here's the latest trends we have. So 16.5% is a share of price reductions by week in Boise. So what you have to do is multiply this by 4. So 16.5 times 4. So that's 66%. So on average right now, home sellers are dropping their asking prices 66% of the time, which is pretty astonishing. And that's in line with June's numbers here. I know a lot of you guys were asking me, why am I multiplying this by 4? But take a look at this because here is as of June, right? So we're missing the end of June by a few days, but the share of price reductions for the most part of June was 14.8%. I'm getting super nerdy right here, but hey, I want to show this to you guys. So 14.8 times 4, that's 59.2, which is very close to this number right here, 61.5. And that's only because I'm only sharing up until June 26. So I'm missing a few days there in June by basically the last week of June. So that's why the numbers are a little bit different. When I multiply that by 4, 59% versus 61.5%. So I know I'm probably overkilling this, but just want to share this with you guys because I share very often regarding the share of price reductions on the Redfin's website here. And looking at this, you would think that 16.5% is a share of price reductions by month, but you have to actually multiply that by 4. So if you multiply this by 4, 16.5, again, that gives you 16 by 5 times 4, 66%. So actually higher than June's share of price drop. So 66% right now have price reductions in Boise, which is pretty astonishing. But let's first talk about new listings in Boise. So Boise, look at that. Boise, Idaho has an increase of new listings by 100.8%, which is absolutely insane. Compared this to last couple of years, I mean, 2021 and 2019 were basically in line. Now they have far more new listings in Boise, which is pretty crazy. I mean, this is basically going straight up. Let's have a look at active listings. Again, I haven't looked at this, the latest trends. Wow, look at that. So they basically went from, at the beginning of this year, let me scroll down here a little bit. So at the beginning of this year, there's the number of active listings was down almost 15%. Then in the middle or in February, we were down 43% compared to 2021. And now we're up 5.64% in the number of houses for sale in Boise compared to 1 year ago. So that surpassed 2021's levels, and it's approaching 2019, as you guys can see here. So even though the number of active listings is up 5.6% from 1 year ago, have a look at pending home sales. These are listing updates. Look at that. Pending home sales are down 35.4% compared to 1 year ago, even though they have more active listings compared to a year ago. And check this out, because one of the reasons why they're seeing a huge amount of price reductions in Boise is because home prices, or the median listing price, has basically been increasing, moving in the wrong direction. So when we have a market where home buying demand is clearly declining, it doesn't make sense for the median asking price to increase. So it has been increasing ever since the middle of June, which is pretty unusual, especially given the fact that the median sold price has been declining ever since the beginning of June of this year. So it clearly is showing that there's a lot of overzealous home sellers there because the median asking price has been increasing, even though they're seeing a huge amount of price reductions in Boise. Okay, and last metric I want to share regarding Boise is the average sale to list price ratio. So at this time in 2021, approximately right here, the average ratio there was 101.9. That basically means that 1 year ago in Boise, home sellers were selling their houses for 1.1% over their asking price. So anything over 1 obviously means that they're selling their houses for over their asking price. And that was for much of 2021, as you guys can see here, ever since the end of September. The black line right here is for 2022. It has been on a declining trend ever since May of this year. So right now in Boise, that ratio is basically at 99.6%. So on average, home sellers are selling their houses for just under their asking price. Okay, so that was Boise, Idaho. Let's have a look at number 2 for the largest share of price reductions, which is in Denver, Colorado. Again, Denver for June was 55.1%. For the number of new listings in Denver, Colorado, again, a new listing is when a home seller lists their house for sale. That is a new listing, and it becomes part of active housing inventory. So new listings are actually down 8.5% from 1 year ago, moving downward and basically in line with 2019's levels. The blue line right here is 2019. So let's have a look at active listings. So we have less new listings hitting the market. So I'm guessing active listings are shooting up. Look at that. So active listings, wow, look at that. They're up 35% compared to 1 year ago. Wow, that's pretty gnarly. So 1 year ago, up 35%. A big difference compared to 2021. Still below 2019's levels, but even though Denver has less houses for sale right now, or far less compared to 2019. In 2019, they had approximately 11,000 houses for sale, but now they only have just over 7,000 houses for sale. So I'm guessing that pending home sales are decreasing there as well. Yeah, wow, look at that. So they're down 24.6%. Wow, that's crazy. Wow, so they're below 2019's levels as well. So it clearly is showing that they have new listings are down. Active listings have been increasing up compared to 2021 by 35%. Of course, this gives more home buyers more options, right? So home buyers don't have to offer way over asking price if we have a lot of houses on the market. So a huge increase of active listings in Denver, but despite that, pending home sales are down 25%. Wow, that's pretty remarkable. I'm guessing too, the price drops. Take a look at this. We already know that as of June, the share of price drops are at 55.1%. But look at that, even higher now, 13.3. Multiply that by 4. 13 by 3 times 4. Yeah, 53.2%. Actually a little bit lower than compared to, it's actually to a little dip there. So a little bit lower compared to June. Any case, so still very, very high. I mean, right now, 13.3%. Compare that to 1 year ago. Look at this. 1 year ago, 5.8. Now it's almost 13.3. Pretty crazy. So basically more than double the share compared to 1 year ago for price drops. So let's have a look at home prices in Denver, Colorado. So Denver, Colorado, the median listing price, again, this is the asking price, is still fairly high. It's basically flat compared to over the past couple of months here. It's still much higher compared to last year, up 14.9%, so up 15%. And this is why they're seeing more price reductions, because home sellers are not getting it, right? They're asking for far more than their house is worth because median prices are basically flattening out, but they're seeing a huge increase of price reductions. Let's have a look at houses that actually have sold. Median sold price, has started to trickle down here a little bit as well. And let's look at the percent of houses that sold above their asking price. Wow, look at that, crazy. So this is the sale to list price ratio. It hit a peak over the past few years at 106.85. You just basically multiply this by 100, so it's 106.8%. So home sellers were selling their houses for approximately 7% more than their asking prices back in April. But look at now. Now it's only 1.02. So they're still selling their houses for about 2% more than their asking prices, but far lower than the peak we had back in April this year. Okay, that was Denver, Colorado. Hope you guys are enjoying this update for you guys. I'm just kind of viewing this real time, so hope you guys appreciate me kind of stumbling on my words here a little bit, but it's fun to watch this in real time in my opinion here. So one thing I want to mention is that on this list here, it mentions Salt Lake City, Utah at number 3 at 51.6%. But when you actually go onto Redfin's website here, for whatever reason, it doesn't have Salt Lake City. So I'm guessing, I don't know why this is, but I'm going to be looking at Provo, Utah, which is just south of Salt Lake City. I'm guessing the housing market there is very similar to Salt Lake City. So Provo, Utah is what we're going to be looking at here. So let's look at new listings. Look at that. New listings. Wow. New listings are up 73% compared to 1 year ago. In 2021 compared to 2019, basically in line. Interesting to see that. So new listings have shot up greatly. Wow, 72.8%, pretty insane. So let's have a look at active listings or housing supply. Yep, it has surpassed 2021's levels. We basically have almost 10% more houses for sale in Provo, Utah compared to 1 year ago, but still far less than 2019. That doesn't really matter because look at this trajectory here, basically going straight up because I'm guessing price drops are going to be continued increasing. Start to see a little bit plateau here, but right now 14%. So right now they have approximately, what's that, 48%? No, not 48%, 56%. I can't do my math. So 56% right now have price drops in Provo, Utah. I mean, far higher than 2021. Look at that. So by week, 14%. But 1 year ago, it was 3.9%. Now it's, wow, 14%. That's mind-blowing. So basically 10 times more price drops now compared to 1 year ago, which is, wow, that's crazy. All right, that's pretty wild. All right, so let's have a look at prices, home prices, right? So here's the median asking price. Basically has been flat ever since April of this year. A little ups and downs, but basically flat over the past couple of months. Let's have a look at houses that actually sold though. Again, a lagging indicator when the home seller accepted an offer, 1 to 2 months ago. So even though asking prices are flat, the median sold price has been declining just a little bit. They're still up 17% compared to 1 year ago, which is pretty astonishing. And lastly, let's look at the average sale to list price ratio. Wow, look at that. Basically going straight down. That's crazy. So in April, it was approximately 1.3%. So approximately 3% of home sellers sold their houses for over their asking price as of basically the middle of April. And now, wow, look at that. So it's basically approaching 1%. So home sellers in Provo, Utah are selling their houses for just over their asking price, far lower than 1 year ago though. Look at that. So right now, it's basically at 1% or 100%, I should say. And 1 year ago, it was 103.47%. So basically, 1 year ago, home sellers sold their houses for about 4% over their asking price. And now it's very close to their asking price on average. All right, pretty wild dynamics here and pretty wild housing trends. Let's have a look at Sacramento. Again, Sacramento came in at 48.7%. Sacramento, so new listings, again, I'm excluding 2020, completely abnormal year due to work home arrangements and the pandemic hitting. Let's have a look at Sacramento though. So right now, new listings are actually down 9.4%, so far lower than the last couple of years, at least 2019 through 2021. And let's have a look at active listings. So new listings are down, but active listings are up, clearly showing that home buying demand is decreasing, and that's causing active listings or the housing supply to increase. So when we have a decrease in demand, obviously it causes the housing supply to increase because houses are sitting in the market longer and they're taking longer to sell, right? So that actually increases housing supply, which is a common trend we're seeing right now across the nation. So even though we saw a big decrease of new listings. Active listings are up. Look at that, 35.44%. That's mind-blowing. Wow. Even below, still below 2019's levels. Doesn't matter though, because look at the trajectory here. Back in mid-March, we basically had the same number of active listings in this year compared to last year. Now we're up a staggering 35.44%. Absolutely insane. Take a look at pending home sales. Wow, look at that. So even though we saw a big increase of active listings, again, up 35%, pending sales are down 32%. Wow, that's mind-blowing. Basically going straight down ever since May of this year, which is pretty astonishing. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Far less compared to 2019 and 2021. So let's have a look at actually price drops as well. Price drops going straight up. Look at that. So 12.3%. Let's have a look at that on a monthly basis. 12.3. I don't know why they don't give us monthly percentages here. So 49.2% right now is the approximate share of price reductions in Sacramento. I mean, right now by week, 12.3%. 1 year ago, which was absolutely insane. This time last year, absolutely insane housing market. It was very, very challenging to get offers accepted. 1 year ago was 5.6%. Let's just say, 5%. So 5%, now it's 12.3. So the share has more than doubled in one single year in Sacramento. Pretty astonishing. Let's have a look at home prices. So here's the median asking price, basically flat compared to the past couple of months. Very similar to these other housing markets we're looking at. But let's have a look at houses that actually sold. Starting to flatten out, starting to come down just a bit. Again, this is the lagging indicator when we're talking about houses that actually sold, right? This is when a home seller accepted an offer from the home buyer, 1 to 2 months ago. So let's have a look at the average sale to list price ratio. Wow, look at that. Basically going straight down as well. The share is basically very close to 100%. Now, 100% basically means on average, home sellers sold their houses for the seller's asking price on average. So we're still above that. So houses are still selling for above the asking price on average, but it's approaching the 100% there. And it's approaching 2019's levels here as well. In 2019, every single month, the share was actually below 100%, meaning that on average in 2019, home sellers were selling their houses for less than their asking price. So right now it's just over the seller's asking price on average right now. But back up to 1 year ago, we had approximately, that ratio was 104.4%. So on average, sellers were selling their houses for about 4 to 5% over their asking price. And now it's just over the asking price, basically 1% over the asking price. So what do you guys think about today's video? Do you want me to make more of these where I look at the latest housing market trends in real time? Yes or no? Please comment below. Also, if you got any value of today's video whatsoever, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. Hope you have an awesome day. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.